For managers, playoffs need a health warning. Mansfield's Andy King. John Duncan of Chesterfield. Wembley isn't big enough for both of them. Duncan's men might feel they have the edge at home, starting level, thanks to Phil Robinson. But the King Army are England's top sharpshooters. Surely their aim won't fail them when it matters most. Saltergate was sold out last week for fans and players alike. It's one step to Wembley, two steps to promotion. Hello, good evening. It's a night for big hearts, cool heads and strong nerves indeed. But now let's concentrate on the action here at Saltergate. At least it's dry after a filthy day. It could be quite a game. In the commentary box and first with the team news, here's John Hell.
Well, 10 years ago, Chesterfield won promotion under John Duncan, and they're hoping history can repeat itself. Despite the loss tonight of key striker Kevin Davies, the teenager trained this morning but is still feeling the effects of a virus, so 6'4" Andy Morris is called up to lead the attack. One of Davies' partners in the first leg, David Moss, is also left out and starts tonight on the bench. Well, this is some night for Des Hazel, the former Sheffield Wednesday and Rotherham winger, to make his debut for the Spireites. Signed just before the deadline, Hazel makes a timely recovery from injury for his first appearance. Andy King has a similar problem to John Duncan in that he's lost one of his main strikers. The unfortunate Ifion Euro will need surgery on a knee ligament injury sustained on Sunday. His deputy that day, Kevin Lampkin, starts the match tonight. There's a place on the bench for recent signing from Notts County Paul Sherlock. Steve Wilkinson is Mansfield's top scorer, 25 goals already, including a hat-trick in the league meeting with Chesterfield in December. There's a general feeling that one goal tonight could be enough to take one of these sides to Wembley. It's a full house at Saltergate, around 9,000 here for this derby match, and a real cup tie it is too. Expect Chesterfield to bombard Mansfield. Referee Clive Wilkes from Gloucester. It's the first time he's ever officiated here. He had charge of the Wolves-Bolton game on Sunday, the first time he'd ever done a playoff match. And it's fair to say nothing has happened in the first 2 minutes. Carr heads back towards his own goal, and it's picked up by Hadley, and then swept wider right for little Parkin to have a tilt, and he's run out of it, and there might be a free kick Mansfield's way here for that. It was a rather needless challenge, one has to say, by Lee Rogers. And Mansfield have the first chance here with their supporters massed behind the goal they are attacking. And it'll be swung in by the left boot, and it's a goal! A great goal! What a start! I think it's Paul Holland who gets in, and Mansfield have the early goal that is demanded of them by Andy King. What a bonus! Great free kick, this one. Watch out for Holland. He's not the biggest, but he's got a thumping header in there. Beasley never moved. Mansfield lead a goal to 0 on the night, 2-1 on aggregate, and a really barren spell for Paul Holland is broken. He'd not scored in the last 13 matches, his worst run since the start of the previous season. What a time to score the goal. It was certainly not the start John Duncan wanted, though. Worrying moments for the Chesterfield manager, sitting alongside the director and former club secretary Bob Pepper there. Morris, lovely little flick. Here's Lormer, sharp, so sharp. Wonderful goal, Tony Lormer. That's why Tony Lormer has become a hero and a very quick favourite with the Chesterfield fans. The only sign for them in the new year, he's got 11 goals for them in this time, and that was absolutely razor sharp. Great time for Lormer to score. We're all level again in the tie, 2-2 on aggregate, and just a reminder, if it stays like this, we'll have extra time and we could have a penalty shootout. Mansfield, Wilkinson coming straight back, Holland in the area, might still get a shot in. No, Beasley comes to gather it with Wilkinson and Holland both there. And the match is perfectly poised now. Morris. Wilkinson and Hadley managed to confuse the Chesterfield central defence again. Law stumbles, he might have let him in, he has! A desperate mistake by Nicky Law. Steve Wilkinson says thanks very much for that, and Mansfield are back in front. It always looked a dangerous ball, but Nicky Law, who makes probably only a mistake a season, has made one here without doubt, and what a night on which to make it. Wilkinson, the predator, is in there with him, the ball bobbling nastily, and Wilkinson tucks it away past Andy Beasley. Mansfield back in front, Law furious with himself. Wilkinson's 26th goal of the season. Chesterfield 1, Mansfield 2. There's only so much a manager can do from the touchline, but he's trying to get his message across. There's a nice flick from Hadley. Oh, Robinson taken out of it by Lampkin. That's the second foul committed by Lampkin in a couple of minutes, and yeah, I thought he'd have to be booked for that. Mr. Wilkes, having just taken the name of Mark Peters, now takes the name of Kevin Lampkin. You can't have any arguments about that either. He found an area of dry land, I think, for that clearance. And by Law towards Lormer. Well, Steve Wilkinson has struck the second goal for Mansfield, who got a terrific start with a Paul Holland header in the first 5 minutes. So they've had the lead twice, but then that mistake by Nicky Law let Wilkinson in just 3 or 4 minutes after Tony Lormer had struck the best goal of the night to get Chesterfield back on level terms. Half-time, though, is Chesterfield 1, Mansfield 2. 2,300 Mansfield fans have made the journey across the M1 to Saltergate to cheer their team on. And at the start of the second half, just looking around, there are no substitutes on, so Wembley beckons. 45 minutes away for either Chesterfield or Mansfield Town. Which of them will it be? Alongside Andy King there, Keith Alexander, the former Lincoln City manager, Grimsby striker. He's been pressed into action for Mansfield this season. Scored twice when he was. But it's Chesterfield on attack with Morris, and he's tripped. The foul cleared by number 8, Steve Parkin, Mansfield's captain. Well, Chesterfield, I'm sure, can be very adept in these situations. Lee Rogers has a good shot if that's what he chooses. Probably more likely a late across for someone like Morris. And indeed it is a good clip of the boot, and tipped against the crossbar. Darren Carr got up so well there, and it was almost a replica of the incident in the first half in which Mansfield scored. Chesterfield can count themselves very unlucky there, but they've still got chances. Lormer, and it's going to have to be put out for a corner. So good, sprightly start to the second half by Chesterfield, and that man Darren Carr with a punishing header which came back off the crossbar. I think, to be fair, Ward just got his fingertips to it. Let's see what happens first with this Chesterfield corner. Carr again, the man in there, and it's Ward who makes the save comfortably. Well, Darren Carr very unlucky. He has got a couple of goals this season, and he's the one who gets in. And a good stop from Ward as well. Chesterfield just have to keep battling away in the belief and hope that it's going to come right for them eventually. Law again hits that long ball up there for Hazel, and again there'll be a free kick coming Chesterfield's way. With the best chance yet in the second half, stabs his shot wide. Falling as he hit it, Andy Morris. It was nicely worked routine. And, Hazel flicked on by Lormer and wide by Morris. Morris through to Lormer, on to Hazel. Lormer's led the line very effectively tonight. Now Hazel can't get the cross in, but he can win a Chesterfield corner kick. And Hazel signed he was injured, so it's some occasion this for him. So let's see if he can set up a second Chesterfield goal. Carr goes for it! It is a Chesterfield goal! It's 2-2, it's Jonathan Howard, and the game is set up and turned on his head again. Jonathan Howard's first ever goal at Saltergate. It's the perfect response from Chesterfield. All eyes were on Darren Carr. Howard stole in behind him, the header powerful enough to beat Darren Ward. And we're back level again. But remember, Chesterfield still have to score another one, because if it stays at 2-2, Mansfield go through on the away goals. Jonathan Howard's not worried about that for the moment. Good time to get his first own goal for Chesterfield. Everything to play for now. As indeed there has been, of course, since the start of this tie, and it's a rip-roaring derby. Skip through to Hazel. Curtis to Hazel. Still Des Hazel. Edges it through to Lormer. Nice play from Chesterfield this. Hewitt with the cross. Here comes Andy Morris. The header straight into the heart of that area. And appeals for handball. Mr. Wilkes saw nothing wrong. Neither did the linesman. We might have a look, but he certainly saw nothing. Well, there was the deep cross that started it all. Andy Morris with that header there. It's at this moment that the crowd thought, well, there was a handball, wasn't there? Parkin. Well, Steve Parkin is very lucky to have got away with that. All I can think is that Mr. Wilkes' view was obscured. At the start of the season, I'm sure that these two sides, if they'd been told that they could come to a playoff situation like this, they'd have said thank you very much. And they really entertained us tonight. An excellent match. 4 goals in it already. Mansfield looking for another from this free kick now. Ian Barraclough. Tense moments these for the Chesterfield supporters, that's for sure. Holland's in there again, just over the top. He's finding space inside that penalty box. Disconcertingly, I'm sure, for John Duncan. And Paul Holland this time just unable to find the range. Straight up in the air by Peters. It's another awkward moment for Law. He's up in he was in real trouble there with his goalkeeper, and they both stayed down. Nicky Law, Andy Beasley, Stuart Hadley injured as well, and yet another disconcerting moment for Nicky Law, with that ball bobbling awkwardly. But the big question mark is over Andy Beasley. If Stuart comes on, it will be for only his second appearance. Sympathetic applause around the ground for the injured parties, and Andy Beasley carried off on the stretcher. Will take no further part in this match, and it would be tragic for him, of course, if Chesterfield were to get to Wembley and he was denied his chance of glory there. Now Simon Ireland for Mansfield. Not been the same force in the second half, that is for sure, and a bad challenge here, and Lampkin is in real trouble because he was booked in the first half. And Kevin Lampkin gets a second yellow and a red, and off he goes, and Mansfield will play out the rest of this game with 10 men. He had to go. Booked in the first half. Andy King can't believe it. A rueful look on his face as Lampkin walks past him, almost unnoticed. Certainly no words spoken between the two of them. Well, still the referee hasn't sent a message to his linesman to suggest that time is up, or to ask them. Here's another awkward one for the keeper to deal with, and he didn't deal with it. Well, Billy Stewart's first contribution to this game was a very unsettling one for the Chesterfield supporters. So only a fool would bet on the outcome of the extra time if we have it. And that is indeed what we are going to have, extra time here at Saltergate, because the scores are level. They'll be in trouble with the Mansfield defence. Appeals for handball. Oh! And Ward makes another. No, it is a penalty. The penalty's been given. It doesn't matter that Ward made the save. Handball has been given. And Chesterfield will have the chance to go in front for the first time on the night. Let's have a look here. The referee has turned one handball down tonight, but not this one. This would be the perfect way to atone for Nicky Law. His second goal only all season. He scored against Gillingham in January. He won't care about that one now. This is the one that matters. And Nicky Law takes Chesterfield ahead for the first time on the night. As cool as a cucumber. Oh, and a real skirmish here with Andy Morris and Mark Peters. And Peters was booked in the first half. He's off as well. Mansfield down to 9 men. And they've really lost their cool now, and they may have lost their chance of going to Wembley as well. He's a superb goalkeeper, but he's been beaten again by Nicky Law. And can you believe it? Nicky Law, the defender, the captain, the goal scorer. 2 for Nicky Law on the night. That's 2. Well, it's double his aggregate for the season. Incredible. Nicky Law, a thumping header, and what had looked like being a night of misery for him not long ago is turning into the greatest night of his footballing life. And here's Morris, might try and tee someone else up, and it's surely a goal, has to be, and Chesterfield are on their way to Wembley. Jonathan Howard, 2 for him, 5 for Chesterfield, and they can start booking their tickets and their trips. It's the simplest goal of the night, but when you've only got 9 men, how do you defend against this sort of thing? And it's all turned out so well for Chesterfield. You feel for Ward in goal, who's been a valiant trier. 2 goals for Jonathan Howard. So just as he's doubled his tally for the season and Nicky Law's trebled his, it's turned out to be a wonderful night for Chesterfield and their fans. Well, this would round it off, wouldn't it, if he were to score? He's in there looking for it, and he's up there, and he causes a bit of mayhem, but he's not back there in his net if Lormer humps this ball forward, and now Robinson chases it. There's no goalkeeper back there. But it doesn't matter, the whistle has gone, and Chesterfield will play at Wembley on May the 27th. Their strength and their resilience has carried them through, having been behind early in the match at 1-0 and 2-1. They've come through it with 2 goals from their hero Nicky Law and 2 for Jonathan Howard as well. Let's go down to Nick Powell on the pitch.
John, congratulations.
Thank you very much. A fantastic game. What a performance from the players. Gone behind twice, unfortunately. Outplayed them, outpassed them, outshot them. Fantastic performance.
What did you say at half-time to keep them going?
We said keep doing what you're doing. You've been the best team. You've passed the ball around. You've had chances. You've been unlucky. Keep going. We'll make it. And we have done.
What about the penalty?
Yeah, well taken. Obvious penalty. But there was other goals as well.
Andy King, what can you say after that?
Can't say nothing, Nick. I'm saying the same things everyone said every year. You get, you know, what do you want to do? Sour grapes, we're magnificent, we've been magnificent. We've even took the game to them as 8 men. You can't do no more than that. We've still thrown the keeper up in corners. We play a certain style, we've gone out playing, I want to go. Anyone reading the paper will see a result that's not true. And really, again, it's complaints as manager afterwards, but referees make decisions that cost you the game.
Yeah, I'm just delighted to win the game. I mean, I was marking Holland for the free kick he scored. I messed up for the second one, and you know, maybe a couple of years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, you know, it's such a bad feeling. You just can't explain. And then to come out, get to 2-2, the lads have done brilliant. Then I get the penalty, and the header. I mean, well, I can't say no more.
What was going through your mind for the penalty?
I don't know, I looked at each corner 3 or 4 times and I knew where I was going to put it if we got one, and I just stayed with the same corner and put it in there, and God, I was pleased when it went in.
Well done, Nicky, thanks.
Cheers, thank you.